the heck happened?
Okay, so we are live now, and we're here to talk about season 6 and spoilers and Michonne and whatever.
Yay!
So what do you guys think about the fact that Alexandra has not been seen on set in over a week?
It sounds promising
Yeah.
that her character is finally gone. But, like, my issue has never been whether or not she dies. Mine has always been what she and Rick get up to. So, like, if nothing happens between them, then I don't care if she still lives. But if anything happened between them, then her dying doesn't really matter to me. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens before I get excited about anything.
Yeah. Are you kind of like of the thought process that if they have sex, it kind of kills Richonne for you?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel the same way. I don't want that to happen, but yeah, I don't know if I can get past that.
And for me, it's not like just the idea of them having sex that bothers me. It's the way that they've written it, as Rick never saw anything with Michonne, and then suddenly he meets this nice little white lady, and he's all like a lust bunny after her. Like, there are so many ways that they could have done a triangle where I could, understand it, and where I could feel for both women. And I could not hate Rick for it, but just the way that they wrote it, it's just like everything about it has turned me off to the idea of them having sex at all. So,
yeah.
I mean, I suppose there is a way that they could still turn it around where it would be palatable to me, but from what I've seen so far, I have no trust that these writers know how to do a triangle. So, just no sex. No to the sex.
If they didn't intend for Rick and Michonne to get together, then they shouldn't have spent all this time building things up, like for years, the last couple years.
It looks like Tennille made it.
I think I got it.
Hey.
Had to step outside. Sorry, guys, for just jumping in there like that.
That's okay. Glad you can make it.
Hey, glad to. Okay. All right. So what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about if Rick and Jessie were to have sex. So, sorry, Vicky. Please continue.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm listening because I'm just really disgusted by that whole storyline. I think everybody knows this by now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be over with and done, and I didn't see why they had to just introduce her character anyway. I felt like that story side was unnecessary.
You don't think it's important to the story?
I mean,
no, I do not. I don't at all. I read the comics and I was like, what am I reading? What is this? Is this a fluffer? I really did.
Did you say a fluffer?
Yes. I really did. Yeah. I really thought that.
Well, I look at it like this, because Andrew Lincoln said, she's kind of there to help him, see love, and I think he's going to find his love with Michonne. That's what I think. So I think that's what she's there for, like in the comic book. She opened his heart, and now Michonne gonna get his heart. That's what I think.
I hope so.
I mean, I do think Richonne is the ultimate end game. Like, I don't know when it'll happen, but I do think it'll happen. But for me, it's always been, it's not necessarily the destination that's important, it's the journey. Like, how they get there matters to me. And this little detour into Jessie, like, it's not necessary at all.
It's gross. It's just gross to me. The way he, like...
Look, we gonna get our way. They're gonna kill her off. So hopefully the spoilers are true.
What's going on, Emmy?
Oh no, I found it. I found the tweet. But I guess somewhere in between there, what I was looking for, it's not there. Okay, because the first tweet was someone is trying to convince me that there's a reason to turn away from Fear the Walking Dead tonight. VMAs. And then it says, if you didn't see it, you missed cable history and a hell of a show last week. Fear the Walking Dead set cable records. Somewhere between those tweets, there was another tweet in there. I'm telling you, he mentioned it. I guess it's not there anymore. I should have.
I think you might have deleted it then.
But that's it
unfortunate.
went so fast too, because I was on my tweet deck and everything. But yeah, and then it was flipped over to the VMAs after Fear the Walking Dead opening scene. Brilliant. Moved by MTV to put Nikki and Taylor on stage tonight. Yeah, there was, something's missing there, and you could just tell, but I'm sorry. I found what I was looking for, but it wasn't what I was looking for, so.
Motherfucker! I just spilled my beer. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Come here. We'll just edit out the bad words.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
What were we supposed to do? We can't get a girl.
Oh, man, that's me.
Neil, I really don't like you. Your hair is adorable. What is going on?
What? I didn't catch that.
I don't like you. Your hair is really cute. Like last
What?
week, your hair is just, it's adorable.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, like, no, last week it was all nice and out. I don't know what's going on with mine. It's the humidity. It's terrible. It is awful.
Last week, I don't know, that was a prayer. That was the Lord anointing my head, because usually it'd be poof. It'd be looking crazy. So that was just one of my good hair days.
All right, but I don't really like going on to any other tags beside showing, as you know, like on social media, and I don't know what's going on in all the other tags, since I only follow like the shows that I like. So from what I gathered from the Spoiling Dead fans, they mention a scene, like a small fight scene. They were practicing. Rick and Daryl was, there, and then they brought up Jesus, and I love that. I thought that was great. Jesus is coming in. Yeah, Jesus is coming. But there was somebody who made some kind of comment that, oh yeah, it's like almost time for Daryl to die, and I was like, what are you talking about? Daryl isn't going anywhere. Daryl is fine.
I really don't care if Daryl dies. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna be real. I'm okay with it if he goes this season.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good. He had a good run. I'm good.
If he stays, he needs to quit moping around and looking like he's gonna cry all the time and kicking the dirt and just self-harming himself or whatever he's doing. He's just all emo, and I'm over it.
They don't have nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a story plot.
Well, maybe he will. He just might. Something amazing could happen to Daryl. I'm actually hoping that this is the. I don't know. I just kind of had a thought that Daryl may actually find somebody or find something, some element of reason to live in season 6 after they have to deal with the Ward and Jessie dying and just just for them to
I'm
get.
sure they'll find something for him to do. I don't see them killing him. I don't see them killing him off anytime soon.
Yeah, I
But
don't see either.
Neil, like, if he goes, I'll be sad. I'll probably cry, but it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll survive.
I'll move on. Now, if you talking about killing Michonne,
I'm really upset. I would be just as upset as the Beth fans were. I'd probably send in spoons or something too.
Girl, I would be like, y'all didn't see how she came back to life. They brought her back to life. She came back. I'd be just like them. Denial.
Oh my
Just like
goodness!
them.
No, speaking of bringing somebody back to life, oh my God,
Tara. Oh, they let Tara go. I'm tired of Tara.
I'm ready for Tara to go too, and I'm gonna tell you why. She did something that kind of pissed me off on Twitter.
You mean the actress?
The actress who plays Jessie. I know you guys know what she did. We were talking about it on Tumblr for a couple days. However, Alana, common sense would tell you to tweet your coworkers. I know you have their phone numbers. I mean, not tweet, but like message them or text them to find out, hey, what's going on? And then AB could drop her a line and let her know, like, hey, listen, the Gail over there or whatever, just, someone, she just retweeted a post about, a Hollywood Reporter shipping Richonne or something, and, I was just responding to it in my special way. But then she goes and she says, I ship you and me, to say like she wants to. It just bothered me. Like, really, you're gonna put more fuel on the fire,
right?
Asking what's really going on. So I at Alana and I said, well, I thought Tara had the hots for Holly. Like, what's going on with that? But I didn't get any response back. I wasn't expecting it to, but I just feel like some of these casts are so out of touch with the fans sometimes. It's like they're egging on the bad ones or the bad comments without even knowing it. And it kind of bothers me. I feel like if you're so involved in social media, you should know what's going on. So I think at that point I was like, you know what, Tara needs to go. She needs to die.
And she pregnant, so go sit down somewhere, have your baby, enjoy life.
Right? And you know what? She looks so adorable pregnant too.
She does.
What were you gonna say, Vicky?
No, I was gonna say I think Alexandra thinks that she's more important to the show than she is. And I think she's kind of inflated herself, and I think she thinks that this is going to be, or at least until like last week, when she probably died, she thought it was going to be a long-term role. She was tweeting like articles saying the new Mrs. Rick Grimes,
right,
and stuff like that. And I'm like, did you? No. So like, every time I just see her,
I think that they were hyping her up. I think that they were telling her. Scott Gimple was like, nah, we ain't gonna kill you off. We ain't gonna kill you off. And then when people were like, oh, nah, we don't like her character. She better not get with Rick. We'll stop watching, whatever. They just killed her off. I think they were gonna keep her around initially, but with everybody not feeling that, I think they kind of last minute told her, we just gonna go ahead and give you your comic death. Sorry. That's why she in her feelings. You can ship whoever you want to ship. I'm just the actress. Okay, bye, Felicia.
Yes, she's feeling bitter. And what? I think she just bit the hand that fed her, too, by posting that on Twitter as well. So, because and you want to know something that really upset, I'm sorry, Vicky. You know what really upset me, too? You have you have Melissa and you have Denai who are getting like tweets from hate tweets and whatnot, and there's of course there are the cast that talks how amazing of an actresses that they are. Steven as well. He's getting hate tweets and whatnot. And then that episode of Talking Dead where I'm going back to refer her very first Talking Dead where she was not really praising the character. I don't know if you guys remember that. I forgot who all was on that Talking Dead, but it wasn't like she was like talking great about the cast. It was like no kind of praise for the cast. It was me, and that was it.
I didn't watch that whole episode because I was already upset after Forget. Like I was really upset. Like it's not a real life situation, but I was like, I cried.
I cried too.
Yeah.
You're not alone in that.
Yeah, I was so upset. And as soon as she said, "Well, this is the first time he's been close to a woman," I'm like, I just turned the TV off and said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
I didn't.
She lost it. Yeah, I didn't like that either when she made that comment.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was thinking. Telling you, she thought she was gonna be the Miss Rick Grimes. She thought she was gonna be Mrs. Rick Grimes. That's why she was talking all that mess.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Whatever.
Mhm.
No, just no.
No.
I never.
Missing one arm.
I know I keep bringing her up, especially her past work. I've seen the shows that she was on, and she was just, wasn't the best.
No.
So what are y'all looking forward to besides Richonne in season 6? What are y'all looking forward to seeing?
I would like to see a bottle episode of just the women kicking ass.
Yeah.
That would be good.
See more Maggie this season.
That would be awesome. And they all look into Michonne for direction on how to go about kicking ass.
Yeah. Kind of like we saw in what was that episode?
I think that was Forget. The three girls?
Where it was, they were going after Sasha and they were like both going stabbing, shooting, taking turns.
That was
Try.
Oh.
There we go. There we go.
Like Michonne, she's like, I don't need drugs. She goes, this isn't for you. And then she starts just taking them out.
Right. This is for me.
When Sasha like slapped her hand away, I'm like, you want to keep that hand? Because you better not do that again.
She didn't slap her like one too many times. Because remember, she got on her again. She got on her when they were on that bridge. You remember, I don't need your help. I had it. I'm like, girl, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
I know you didn't lost your man and you lost your brother, but Michonne, y'all black. Black people united. Y'all, you can't be getting, come on now. You can calm down, girl. She trying to have your back. Dang.
Yeah, and Kate said that she wants to see more Carl and Michonne. I've got to agree with that. There wasn't enough. There wasn't nearly enough in season 5. So.
Well, like season 4, they had this great relationship and rapport, and then it just kind of disappeared. Busy and stuff, but still, it's like they talk more. Something.
The Comic-Con gave me hope that they'll return to their relationship. I mean, they had Denai and Chandler sitting next to each other, and they made sure to talk about their relationship.
Yeah.
And I mean, if like the stuff from the comics does happen, then it should give them a lot of good material. And I'm looking forward to maybe seeing Michonne vulnerable about it, and hopefully she'll finally tell Rick about what happened to her son.
Yeah.
I like that.
My mom. Thank you, young man. I was about as a reward.
There has to be a reason she hasn't told him yet. They must be saving that for something special. Either the end of No Way Out, you know, when Carl gets shot, if he gets shot this time. I mean, it looks like he probably did. I don't know if you guys look into spoilers at all, or if you can kind of avoid them.
So you're saying by putting
Yeah, I saw the picture with
Yeah.
Chandler's eye in a bandage.
Getting shot out, right? I don't know if it got shot out because the way that they had the patch on there was no blood. So
Yeah, and it doesn't seem
I
like
don't.
a huge gaping hole like it is in the comic. So maybe it's, I mean, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe it won't be as
Yeah,
bad as it was in the comics.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be that
Like,
bad.
like he got something in his eye, so he needs to cover it, but it's not necessarily a bullet.
Because it looked like a little cloth, just a little something that covers the eye. So I was like, maybe it may not be that bad, the shot.
I don't think it'll be as bad.
Right.
Of an out-of-town businessman and then swindle him
Kind
out
of
of
the
it.
same thing with Rick's hand getting cut off. I mean, it's just going to take too much work to keep that up. And he had that thing in his face all the time.
I just inherited a large sum of money. Go wait in the
Yeah,
I think we're going to get a lot of Carol this season again.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
That? What was that, Tennille? I didn't hear you.
I said, do y'all think we're going to get a lot of Carol this season with her being on the cover of Entertainment Weekly? Y'all think we're going to get a lot of her again this season?
Listen, I'm really upset about that Entertainment Weekly cover. However, it was a fantastic cover. Amazing. I love it. But ever since The Walking Dead have made the covers of Entertainment Weekly, I've bought issues. You know, each individual issues, because you can buy them all, or you can buy, you know, the one that you like. So I was waiting for these issues so I can purchase it and nicely display it on my Walking Dead shrine. But I was like, okay, so where's the rest? Why are we getting? How come there's, this is it? That's all we're getting. I was disappointed in that. I wanted to see Glenn and Maggie. I thought I was gonna see them on their own cover, and then maybe Michonne and Carl in one cover. I don't know. I was just thinking like they were gonna do something completely out of the box, and they did, but they only did it with Rick, Carol, and Daryl, and it kind of bummed me out. But it was a great cover and got a lot of attention. But Michonne is the queen of the zombie apocalypse, people.
She used to be on every cover.
I'm not over Carol, but I'm not as big a fan of Carol as I once was. I'm hoping that changes. I don't like how she was last season. The manipulative behavior, and I know she's hurting and stuff, but I just kind of turned me off a little bit.
Right.
Well, I just always thought that she hasn't forgiven Rick about, kicking her out of the prison, and this was her way of getting back at him by putting him under the bus, like when he was, where Richonne just like was in the room with him, and he was like laughing, and she's asking him what's so funny. They were doing their thing. They were having their conversation, and then she said whatever it is that she needed to say, and then it was like she was talking to him like how an adult would be talking to a child, like correcting them in in their behavior. I was like, what are you doing? And then the camera panned over to Michonne, and she's like, yeah, I see what you're doing. Like, yeah, I'm on.
You're not fooling me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like I think she was gonna figure it out on her own, but Rick was like, you know what? I can't lie to her anymore. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her the truth. So, but I seriously think that Carol did not or has not forgiven Rick for kicking her out of the prison. Honestly.
I think that's it.
I still think that's her whole thing. I think she's
Right.
playing him. I think she's playing him.
But
Well,
what
I
would
think
she?
she's also playing
But what
the
is her
zone.
end? I mean, like, if she is playing him, is she playing him to try to get him kicked out of Alexandria?
No, I think
What is the point?
no, I think she's just playing him to teach him a lesson. Like, you know, you needed me. Like, you need me. You know, or I'm just thinking way too much into it. But I know it doesn't really make any sense, but she did a complete 360 when they got into the zone, and she said that, you know, the Alexandrian are children and all that stuff, and that may be true. However, I just think that when you do something like that, how are you going to gain how are you going to be able to let that person gain your trust again once they figure out what was going on? I'm just ready for Carol to go back to Carol and stop faking things.
Yeah.
Stop
Right.
baking cookies.
Just
You know,
come out,
I bake.
girl.
You know,
Come
speaking
out.
of cookies, you see those cookies? They posted the recipe for the cookies on their Talking Dead website on AMC. You know, I baked those cookies, and those fuckers was hard as a rock. Because,
Well,
because
the cookies look hard as a rock on that show.
no, they messed up on something. It's like you need some kind of softener, like cream of tartar, in it, and they didn't have that. And they were like, they actually put in the directions like let the cookies cool on the like the baking pan, like the hot pan, like cool. I'm like, what do you mean let it cool on the pan? It's gonna burn the cookies.
They never looked that good to me anyway.
You know? So,
I never understood Sam's obsession with
Well, it
cookies.
is your poppy cookie. You know,
it was like somewhere along the line they messed up on that recipe.
I
But
wish
yeah.
I wish Carol had never called Rick Sunshine, because now every time I read a fic, people are using that in the story and they're using it constantly. He's like, "What's up, Sunshine? You could have done that, Sunshine." And I'm like, "Okay, enough, enough."
I know
Overdoing it.
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It just, yeah, it was just. I think that was just a bad line. Like
hmm
it just, you know, it to me. I think the Trinity works best when it's Rick, Daryl, and Michonne. I didn't have a problem with that, and the kid.
Well, I'm still holding out that we'll get that like nice cover next year when they do the 6B stuff, promo stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so too.
And I think we'll get a good idea of whether or not they really want to promote Richonne then, because that would seem like the time when you would really start promoting them and saying, yeah, this is the love story that we want to tell.
Well, I mean, Hollywood Reporter opened the doors for all these other articles to, you know, to ask that question. And I didn't even know about the Hollywood Reporter article if it wasn't for Miss Curious. So I'm just glad that finally someone in the media is taking serious notice on what they can bring in the in there. However, I wouldn't mind seeing them doing things on their own too.
Yeah, I think the article in the Hollywood Reporter is a good start, but they need more if they're really going to promote Richonne the way that they should. Like, they
Well,
need to be on magazine covers. They need to be doing like interviews together, like the stuff that you like see with the X-Files, like that kind of stuff.
yeah, but you know what? This is I am a fan of the X-Files, Kay, but the thing I don't even know properly execute this. Okay. So here you have Moulder and Scully, obviously, and from the get-go, people wanted them to be together even way before they figure out what the word ship was, and that was
Right.
okay. That was okay. I mean, Mulder was doing things, and Scully things, and you have this one believing in aliens, the other one is a skeptic. But however, it was like they yin and yang perfectly well, and you can clearly see that with Agent Mulder and Scully. However, when you see the same yin and yang with Rick and Michonne, it's a problem. It makes some folks uncomfortable. We know which folks they are that are uncomfortable, but it upsets me when you have Mulder and Scully that has that quote unquote has that romantic chemistry, whereas Rick and Michonne doesn't have the romantic chemistry when it's clearly there. It's a friendship thing, and then I'm like, how is that? How is that possible? How can you have one where they were partners and you have that whole, oh yeah, they're definitely a couple, and then the other one isn't? I don't get that. It's like it's just not right.
Well, I'm a big Mulder and Scully shipper. Like I was telling her that I used to get on AOL chats, in like '96, my dial-up, and talk in X-File chats. And Mulder and Scully's relationship is a lot like Rick and Michonne's in that it's not as obvious. There's little, well, we're just now getting touches, but little touches, little looks. They're not making out and stuff like that, but it's very subtle, but it's there. And Mulder and Scully, we didn't really get to see them get together. I mean, we saw hints here and there, and then boom, all of a sudden she's pregnant, and then he's gone, and then he comes back, and it's his baby. And we're like, well, how did that happen? So, I think,
Well, I guess I'm not necessarily talking about the story of Mulder and Scully that I want to see happen, but like the promotion of them. Like they're on magazine covers and stuff, and like you know that they are meant for each other. There's no one else for them. That's what I want for Rick and Michonne. That kind of promotion.
well, was it right after Comic-Con we got that EW pictures of Andrew and I? But
Yeah,
I think that might
like I want more stuff like that.
first time that they actually showcased just them for the most. I mean, I think they did one other thing, but they hadn't really done that before, so that's got to be a good sign.
Right. Because they wouldn't do it if they were going the route with Jessie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they would do that if they weren't going to get together. I really do believe 6B, we're going to get something. We're going to get that, we're going to know for sure where they're going with those two. Come 6B. I really believe that.
I hope so. I don't want to wait anymore.
We waited a long time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to wait anymore.
Yeah, I'm tired of waiting. They got to do something.
Yeah, I agree. Give it to us already.
Yes, we've waited long enough. What did y'all think about when Scott Gimple was saying where they had that intimate, conversation in the bedroom? What do you think he meant by that? Like how they've come from the gate to now where they were in the room having that discussion. What do you think he meant by that?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
So I think he was just stating the obvious without being obvious. Gimple is so good with words sometimes, it just infuriates me. I think he's just trying not to give too much away, and I have to respect him for that because he can't tell the story. I think as popular as The Walking Dead has become, it's like I'm sure even the cast can't say much about it. It's just that locked, tight. I don't know. But I think it's great that he recognized the whole the intimacy between them.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. Like, yes, finally Gimple has mentioned something about it. So
Right.
that's my take on it. That he finally said something without actually going around in circles. Because
I wish he had some. I want to buy him a thesaurus because you can only use intimate and deep so many times. It's just like it's a deep,
that's right.
deep,
That's
intimate
true.
relationship that's very deep and intimate. I'm like, you gotta give me a little more than that. I like
That's
that.
his
I'm happy
favorite
for it.
word. Those are his favorite words.
No, I think. I mean, if of course, I just think that he just it's like he knows that it's going to be a question. He knows, so I guess he already figured out what he needs to say about that part. Whereas everyone else, but as Rick and Michonne together, I think it's just set as that intimate or intimacy,
Mhm.
those words, being together. Whereas Andrew Lincoln, it's completely different. It's like gung ho.
Yes.
So
Diarrhea of the mouth.
I'm gonna tell you
Yes.
exactly how it is, but now even he has to watch what he has to say because I'm sure they told him to put
You
it
know,
on
they
lock.
checked him when he got off stage. You know, they were like, look,
Yes,
better shut your ass up. You playing, shut up. Yes. That's why he was sitting in that little video when they were having that radio chat or whatever. He was like, they told me to shut up.
yes.
Me be quiet.
So, but now if you notice, Denai she mentioned that she went to Gimple talking about that too, about Michonne being a nun. So I like that she brought that up to the
Mhm.
media about herself, and that she was glad, that her fans want her, to get. But
Get some.
now that she brought it up, it just seems much more. It makes much more sense, and what we have been talking about in the past, it has been confirmed by the actress herself. It's not just from us seeing her on TV, and then for her to say it and feeling that way, then we know. So I
Right.
just thought that was amazing that she brought it to everyone's attention.
Right.
I just hope it gets addressed on the show. Because I sometimes get the feeling like she says all of these things and she's like, we should do this. And then like they don't listen to her. Like when
They
she talks about
don't.
how she
You
wanted
know what?
to have a relation, like to have more interaction with Carol on screen. Like I kind of got the feeling that the reason why she's saying it is because it still hasn't happened. So I just hope that it actually gets addressed.
Right. I hope so.
it would make sense. They've got a lot of things in common that they could talk about with losing their kid, and they're both very strong and cool characters. I'd like to see them interact more.
Me too. That will make me want to see Carol more if they interacted more, give her something different to do than be sneaky and bake cookies. So I say, yes, let's do it.
Right. Yeah. So what do you guys think about Carol? I mean, not Carol. Carl, or sweet Carl. I saw that picture. You know,
No, wait a
from
minute.
the picture of Carl with his eyes all covered.
Uh-huh. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I didn't think they was gonna do it. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, not because he gonna get his eye shot out. That's not what I'm saying. But I was just,
I know where
you know,
what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. But honestly, I didn't expect the eye. I thought they were going to do a little remix and maybe and maybe chop his hand off instead. Like give that, I don't know, give that hand chopping to Carl and not to Rick, because
I never thought about that.
yeah, because I just thought that that's what they were going to do, because Rick in the comic doesn't have a hand and it was chopped off by the governor. So I just thought they were going to do that. I didn't want to just, the whole eye thing. It just makes it just much more traumatic, because I don't want to give too much away about the comics, but Carl is really, he is, I don't know. I mean, he seems a little like a sociopath in the
He
comic.
does.
Do you mean like because the shot like did brain damage, so it kind of like changed his personality?
Yeah, and it's just this whole Lydia girl, man. Oh my goodness, I just want her to die already.
Did she lick in his eye or something?
She licked his
really
eye.
Did
She
she
really
lick it?
did. Yes, Neil,
licked
she did, and I was so disgusted by it. I don't know.
I had no words. When I saw that, I was like, what?
And how old is Carl in the comics?
Like 17? 17? I'm gonna say 17. Yeah, he grown. It's a zombie apocalypse. You do whatever you want to do, but why with Lydia, man?
I'd be like, you nasty.
Sophia was right there.
You nasty.
There was nothing. I just felt like he fell in love with the first person he lost virginity. I'm just saying, like, he fell in love with the first person, he lost his virginity to. But I just don't like that storyline. But I think by getting his eye shot out in the comics, he changed his persona. However, I just kind of hope that they were gonna chop his hands off instead. It kind of like make things more of oh wow, it's about to go down for him. I was
What's
like,
gonna happen with him and Enos? What you think? You think she's gonna make it to the end of the season alive?
I hope not. No, I hope not. I don't want any kind of triangle. How is it they were able to give a 15-year-old boy a love triangle and
Michonne in the corner.
No,
they completely
that is so wrong.
Yes,
That was wrong.
I didn't appreciate that at all. At all. I mean, really, you just, your dad just killed the only surgeon in the zone. Your friend Ron is dating Enid, and you're gonna like innocently make a move on her without really making a move, but she knows you're making a move, but you're not making a move. I know that doesn't make any sense. It just really bothered me, and I said, you know what? When Ron finds out, things are gonna get real serious.
It's gonna get real.
Yeah.
Ron, he a little, he's getting on my nerves. Just the little bit that I saw of him in the trailer, he was getting on my nerves already. You was already stirring the mess with your mama, telling your mama, which I'm glad you told your mama stay away from Rick, whatever, But the thing with Enid, him hugging on Enid, trying to make Carl mad, I'm all like, you don't know what Carl been through. Carl almost got raped. Carl been through a lot, lost his mama. You better leave Carl alone. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's like they really didn't, and that's what I had brought up on Twitter when I was watching the marathon. It really upset me when the Alexandrians approached the team family with "I understand" or "I get it" or "help." Because one, you're not helping, you don't get it, and you don't understand, because you guys were so protected and not knowing what a walker was or how to properly kill one. I mean, look at Aiden and Nicholas. going on these runs and leaving people behind to save their own ass. It just didn't, you know. And then for Nicholas to tell Glenn, I'm helping, and it was like, no, you're not helping. And then Jessie with her whole I get it at the party. No, you don't get it.
See, that's when Rick should have walked away from her. Give me my baby.
Exactly, but he didn't. You know,
Give me my baby. You don't understand nothing. And walked away. But no, he had to do.
That's why it kills me when Andrew was like, Jessie is the first person who makes me think of Alexandria as safe. And so I'm like, she's talking shit. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She never did any of that. The only person who really got you to see that Alexandria could be a home for you was Michonne, who said that from the beginning, that we needed to find a place to be safe. And then later saying, this is my home, this is where I want to be. Jessie had nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like, I really think, like I said before in a previous chat, it's like they need a fan check to check their writing to make sure that it's correct, because they can always go back to another season and say, hey, remember what you said here? You can't say it here and not say it there. It just seems so crazy that they would forget something, and it was just like a season or two ago. You know, you have these diehard fans that watch these marathons religiously, word for word, me in particular, you know. Like, it just, you know, it's like, how could they get these things wrong? How did they forget? You know, I'm really upset that Forget is an episode that is part of season 5 DVD.
And it feels like it wasn't they were forgetting stuff from last season. They were forgetting stuff from the episode before. Like, you have the distance where Rick and Michonne are like kids met. And then in the next episode, he's lying to her. And they're like, why? It doesn't make any sense.
It didn't.
Yeah, it's like, okay, did a week pass by? Are we supposed to assume that, you know, because, you know, timeline-wise, it's very confusing, and, you know, understandably. So it's like, are we supposed to go ahead and say, okay, a week went by at the zone, a month? What? Wait, what's going on? Why is he doing the things that he's doing? You know, is he playing the people as well? Does he really want to be leader that bad? It was very confusing.
I think they had some new writers last season that weren't as familiar with things, and I think if they're going to have new writers, they need to pair them up with people who do know what's going on, so the consistency is still there.
But that's Scott Gimple's job. He's the one who should be supervising this stuff. I mean, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you know, since you brought that up, Vicky, you know the panel, the recent panel at the San Diego Comic-Con, you know, where you had Chris, and then Scott Gimple, and then Gail. Who was that guy that was sitting next to Gail?
Probably Dave Alpert.
Yeah.
Who's that? Dave
Alpert, I think, is his name. He's a producer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I don't remember if he's written any episodes, but he's the producer. I think he's also helping produce Fear the Walking Dead too. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Because he wasn't saying much, and I was like, okay, who's this guy?
And usually he says a lot. I don't know why he was so quiet this Comic-Con. Usually he speaks, he talks, but he was very quiet. He didn't have much to say on this panel.
Yeah. You know what? I think they left that for the cast, because this con, they were talking quite a bit. Well, you know, you know, I love that. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with the other cast. I'm like, is Father Gabriel gonna die? You know, like, or is he gonna like man up and admit that he was wrong and maybe apologize to you know, to someone in the group, maybe Maggie, because she overheard what he told Deanna.
Hmm.
I guess not, maybe not. Um,
I don't know. I think he might man up just before he dies. He can redeem himself.
Is he still alive? He's still alive in the comics, isn't he?
yeah, he is. I think so. Oh my gosh.
I haven't read anything real recent, so I don't know for
I
sure.
I read. Oh my goodness. I read. I don't want to give a lot away, but I read. I read up to the wall, the barrier that Alpha gave Rick and the Alexandrian. Like, this side is my side, this side is your side. And when they went to see the side and they saw the head on the spikes, that's as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as that's as far as I got. That's where I went. And then I saw. Oh, you know what? I don't know if you guys saw the pictures on Tumblr of Michonne hugging Rick in the
Yeah.
comic.
Oh, no, I saw
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
I've
reading
never read the comics, but I've got that hug has got me shipping them in the comics. Like, I want them to
Yes,
get together.
yes. And the thing
Sorry,
was,
Andrea, I'm sure you're cool, but no. Be Rick
what?
and Michonne in the
No,
comic as well as the TV show.
it was really weird because not weird in a bad way, but weird like because here you got in one panel, Michonne and Rick is hugging, and I mean it was a nice hug, and then off to the side you see Andrea looking dead straight ahead with the hat on her head, like not noticing what was going on to her right, like it just seems really weird, like is she? I don't know. I guess maybe she just trusts Rick to
Right.
know, you know, like that hug means nothing. However, to me, when I saw that, I was like, wow, look at that hug. An intense hug. That was, but who knows? What do you guys think? What did you think when you saw that?
I always thought that she was jealous of Michonne, Andrea in the comics. I always thought that even when after they had the whole fight with Negan and it was over, and remember when she was helping Rick to the hospital and she was helping him, why wasn't Andrea helping him? You know, I shot the arrow and she's helping him, or he broke his leg. Yeah, Negan broke his leg and she was helping him to the hospital bed. Where was Andrea at? You know,
Oh, yeah.
that was just weird. And then she came in a little bit after, she got him into the bed or whatever, and she like, well, what are y'all talking about? Well, so I always kind of felt like she's a little jealous of their relationship. That's what I get from that.
I kind of like. Admittedly, I haven't read the comics, but from what I've seen, I kind of got the idea that Michonne was jealous of Andrea. Like, there was a couple of, like, when Michonne comes back after she's been gone for for however long she was, and then she says something to Rick. I don't remember what she said exactly, but
Oh, you know what?
like, oh, I'd never cheat on Andrea, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that just really odd to me.
Jealous of their happiness because they purposely make Michonne like sad and like angry, and I don't know why she had to leave Ezekiel, but I know exactly
Why is her she keeps every guy she gets with they die? Why? Do something different with her.
Because she's choosing the wrong person. She should be choosing Rick.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I am ready for Andrea to die in the comic books. I'm ready. I am. I'm so ready.
But if they kill Andrea and then Rick and Michonne get together in the show, then they can kill her off in the show, right?
No, okay. Tennille, obviously, I know you read in the comics. If you remember when the prison fell and Rick and Carl is all they're healing up in the house, and then Carl goes off and does his thing, with those walkers, and he's like, I don't need you. You can die if you want. And then they got stuck in the car, and Michonne saved them, and then Carl jumps into Michonne's arms. There was this look that they shared between them, and then I knew then and there that they were gonna get together. And then I think Kirkman bail out on it, he bail out on the idea or something, because Andrea had her eyes on Spencer, and then all of a sudden she turned around and she planted one on Rick. I just thought that was forced. It was
There wasn't really any build up to it. It was weird. It was kind of out of the blue.
Yeah, it was.
Very out of the blue.
I agree.
The looks that they exchanged in the panels told me that something was definitely going to happen with them in the comics. And then for him to do this whole change around, it made absolutely no sense. I think they were supposed to be together in the comics, honestly and truthfully. I
remember reading.
As a matter of fact, let me go get my Compodium book so I could just show you.
What were you saying, Vicky?
From what I remember reading, I believe Kirkman was it was either going to be Michonne or it was going to be Andrea, and he had both in mind to be the significant other, and for whatever reason he went with Andrea. So he had it so it could be either woman. And I wonder if he regrets that now, and now that Andrea's gone, maybe he's kind of
gonna make it right.
Yeah. Because the way that the relationship between Rick and Michonne now, and at this point in the comic and the point in the TV show, they're way closer than Rick and Andrea were at this point in the comic. And Carl is way closer to Michonne than he was with Andrea at this point. And there's got to be a reason for that.
It's very, very intimate, like they like to say. It's very intimate. And I like it how they're writing them. I like it a lot.
Yeah, they've made them a family, and of course they're all a team family, but they're a separate family.
Yes,
they're like a nuclear family.
Yeah. I'd like to see Michonne with Judy more this year too.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I'd like to see Michonne with Judith more this year.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like
that too.
I was a bit salty when I saw that picture of Carol and Judith. Like, where is Michonne and Judith? We haven't seen that in a while.
There's more Tandy,
So where do you guys see Morgan? Where do y'all see him going in season 6? Think he's gonna live or he's gonna get his comic death?
You know what? I think Morgan's gonna stay alive. I think he's gonna be alive.
I do too.
I hope he stays alive. I mean, even if he doesn't stay with the Alexandrians or Tuning family, I hope he doesn't get killed off and maybe he wanders off and then comes back occasionally like he has been doing. I hope they can continue to come around.
Right. I don't want to get killed off. I'm glad Morgan's back. I'm glad he's back with Rick. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with him. I'm excited.
Well, he's such a good
actor. The conflict isn't going to be as big as they made it out to seem from the trailer.
I think it's going to be more of a conflict like I've seen with, they were saying about Rick and Daryl. I think it's going to be some conflicts there with them. You know, they want us to think it's going to be a conflict with Morgan and Rick, but then it's going to be this conflict for some reason with Rick and Daryl. So just have to see.
Do you think they're gonna try to like insinuate anything between Michonne and Morgan?
I hope they don't.
Nah, I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
No, I don't see
Only
it
if it's to make
either.
Rick jealous, then I'd be okay with something. But he doesn't even know him.
No, I don't see it. I would like to, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
He was crazy when they first met. He was like over the deep end. Yeah, this is mommy comics, honey.
Right, and I think when they didn't they ask Denai about her and Morgan, and she was kind of like, you know, the last time she saw him, he was crazy. She doesn't trust him. You know, she really didn't get into the whole romance thing, so I don't think they're gonna go that route.
Exactly.
Although it would be nice to see a man act attracted to Michonne because they don't show that.
That's what I don't get. This woman can. I don't get that. She has a knife. She's badass. I mean, she's great. And no man is attracted to that. This woman who can, I mean, do all these things, and no man is attracted to Michonne. No man has ever looked at her at all. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. All the men can say, oh, she's a roster bitch, you know, put her down. But nobody's attracted to Michonne at all, you know. Crazy.
She's stunning. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that no man has said anything or tried anything. But Jessie, with her ponytails and her flannel, as Rick acting crazy, I don't get it. I don't get it. Ow.
And they need to like make her outfits a little bit more sexy, like the comics.
You think so?
Yes. Yes.
They are. I thought that was great. You know, they have her in tights, these boots, and this skirt, and then this overlay shirt, and then the jacket, and it worked well for the apocalypse. It was awesome. And then.
I know.
But yeah, she needs to do something with her her wardrobe. I want her to be a little bit more, you know, give me a little sexiness, a little bit more sexiness to her outfit.
I feel like we were kidding at the party because she was so beautiful at the party in the comic, and in the TV show they've got her in this ugly dress out on the porch.
And we know they had her in something else too, because we saw that like behind the scenes photo. It's like,
yeah,
what was behind that decision? Well, I think we know what it was. They didn't want her to outshine, you know, the new girl, but
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was most definitely what that was.
And I think that's why you kept Rick and Michonne apart, because Michonne's there, Rick's going to gravitate there, and we have to make believe that he's interested in Jessie, so Michonne can't be a part of anything. He just has to stay on the porch, and that pissed me off. Like, why can't she come inside the house? Why does she gotta stay outside?
But like, the reason why they had Michonne on that porch, because let's be real, if Michonne was not on that porch and she was in there in that party anywhere near Rick, we wouldn't even looking at Jessie and Rick. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to show us to see that they had some kind of attraction. If Michonne was in there in that party in that room, we wouldn't have paid attention. So they knew what they were doing by keeping Michonne out on that porch.
Yeah.
And putting her in that horrible dress that they put her in. So
that was very unforgiving because I was so excited for that party too.
I was too.
I was excited for that purple dress and just, lay it all out and just, I was just so excited. And then they did that and I wanted to, I took it out on my husband actually. I mean, I was mad.
I was too.
Okay, I'm gonna go sit over here so you can sit over there. I was very upset.
Because it's not like they're gonna have another party anytime soon. That was pretty much it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
we ain't getting no more parties.
We're not gonna get another chance.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
This is why it just frustrates me with the writing. It's like, do they not know what they're doing? Like do they know what the repercussion is going to be when they do the things that they do?
They know now.
They don't know how to write romance. Like, I think they've got the friendship and intimate relationship part down, but they just don't know how to take it to the next level without screwing everything up. Because if you look at all the other romances on the show, like you've got Rick and Lori, which was dysfunctional, and then Maggie and Glenn, which is romantic and beautiful, but then they just became all about each other, and they have nothing outside of each other except for Glenn started to come out last season, and then we've got Abe and Christina, which they're just like, so it's just like they don't know how to write a good romance, and so we have them fucking things up like they have.
People will joke about, fan fiction. They need to read some of that fan fiction because it's so well done. And I think they could learn something from it, like some of Change Force stuff.
Yeah, they just need to hire them.
Yeah.
Let them write an episode.
And I mean, they can do it. These ladies can do it, and they're doing it for free on their own free time. You guys have all the budget.
And they're doing it with Jessie. It's not like people don't understand like how she could serve a purpose. It's just the writers have no idea what to do with her, and they've done it all wrong.
They have. They completely have. Starting with the domestic violence. It was like, where is it? And then there was a moment where I actually thought that it was Jessie that was doing the abusing. I really did.
What was that?
Wait,
there
is
was a
that
moment when you thought...
feedback? Someone's TV is on. No, it was just like I was hearing someone's television for a minute. But I was saying that the domestic violence was done incorrectly, or I felt like they didn't really take their time to do that story, and I felt like that was really important. And there was even a moment where I thought that it was actually Jessie that was being the abusive one in the relationship. I really did. But
yeah.
I don't know that much about domestic violence, but I can't imagine if she's being abused that she wouldn't be all up on some other dude at the party with her husband right there. Obviously, she was abused, but they didn't do any of this right. The whole thing was just odd.
The whole thing was completely contrived.
Yeah.
That it felt like they did it because it was in the comics, not because it made sense to the story they were trying to tell.
But in the comics, we actually saw them abused. We saw, the black eyes or the bruises on the kid and on Jessie. We didn't see any of that in the show. They didn't give us any of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It just felt rushed.
And Rick, like a day earlier, wouldn't feed his hungry baby applesauce because it came from a stranger. Will let a stranger come up behind him with scissors.
Right.
Makes no sense.
So I had a question. So we had a deleted scene where Rick blatantly lies to Michonne about the guns. And so my question is, do you think like that scene should have been kept in, or are you glad that it was deleted, and why?
It almost could have made it make a little more sense, but it also would have made it harder to forgive him. It's already been very hard to forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they should have left it in, because I think what they were trying to do was trying to make it seem like Michonne didn't know what was going on. They wanted her to be in the dark, But as we saw with that deleted scene, she knew all along. She knew Rick. She knew something was up. So I wish they would have left it in.
Yeah, it would have made things make more sense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they took it out? Just because it made Rick look really bad, and they didn't want to make Rick look as bad as he did by having it in?
It almost seemed kind of. I mean, it made sense, but it almost seemed like it was just kind of extra stuff, and maybe they might have been short for time.
Uh-huh.
But okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part, Vicky.
Oh,
Yeah.
my kid was saying it's bedtime. I'm like, I know.
No.
I guess there was also a deleted scene from season 5 where Rick brought Jessie some light bulbs to replace the eyes in her owl statue.
Oh, was there? I don't know about any of the other deleted scenes.
Yeah.
I heard about that one.
I would have thrown it. No, just,
I was like, Rick, you a little too thirsty, Rick. You're a little too thirsty. Calm down. She's married.
Mhm.
When I heard that.
Yeah. And he didn't pursue her in the comic. There was like nothing romantic in the comic until after he killed Pete, and then she just came in his room and like jumped on him.
Yeah, she jumped on him.
Yeah.
Which I hope we do not see that on the show at all.
No.
Please, Lord, no.
I don't know if I get that.
So are you guys going to watch live, or are you going to like see how it goes and then watch later if there's nothing bad?
I'm probably going to watch live the first one just because I've missed it so much, but I almost want to know ahead of time what's going to happen, because if there's a bunch of Jessica stuff, I don't want to see it. I I want to know it's there so I can avoid it and just move on.
Mm. I was honestly just gonna log on to Tumblr and just look at what you guys were saying about the show, and then if it was something good, then I was gonna watch it maybe later. But I don't know.
It's a mess here. I'd get on Tumblr, and if things look like they were going well, I'd tune in.
Right.
To avoid.
So, like I said, I'll tune in. I'll probably tune into the first episode, but if it goes where I don't like it, I'll be watching it later.
I hope the ratings reflect it. Like, if they have some Jessica mess, I hope the ratings reflect that nobody wants to see it.
And I hope that Rick is past that this season. I hope that he kind of wakes up, like kind of when Michonne and him had that conversation about I'm still with you. I hope that kind of wakes him up and he's kind of like, I'm over Jessie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's what they do with that situation.
That's the way it seems like it would go. I mean, it
Right.
seemed like whatever was going on in his head, she managed to knock some sense into him after she knocked him out. So I don't see how they can go back to any kind of romantic feelings between Rick and Jessie.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it looks like. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't understand how she could still be attracted to the man that kills her husband in cold blood, and like her sons have all of these issues with him. Like, why would she do that? It just doesn't make sense to me.
It looks like she is going to have some kind of attraction to him because why is her son telling him Rick is dangerous? So it looks like
I agree with that. I know that she's probably going to,
yeah.
but I don't understand why.
I think Jessie needs a man. She needs to know that there's somebody that's going to take care of her. There's somebody to rely on. Like, she didn't want to leave her husband because she knew that Rick was her backup plan. So
That's
I don't.
true. But it just makes her such a weak character, and it just makes her unlikable and unrootable. And
Yeah. Well, a lot of the Jessica fans, and I probably shouldn't say this, but they're part of the reason I don't like Jessie. Some of them are just hard to handle. And they're saying, well, look at her. She's got a gun in the trailer. And she gets up there and on the stage or on the steps and makes this inspiring speech about if you want to live, you have to fight for it. And like, she repeated what Rick said word for word. She has no thoughts of her own. She has no agenda of her own. She just goes with whoever's strongest person at the time. But they're using those to try to say that Jessie is going to be tough and that she's going to belong to a significant other.
well, if they want her to really be tough and a strong woman, then she needs to stay away from Rick.
Yeah,
Exactly. Be tough for your kids.
yeah.
Worry about that.
Most times she didn't know where the kids were. I have an 8-year-old.
Yeah. She's definitely not going to win any Mother of the Year awards.
Yeah. I would notice if my kid got up in the middle of the night to go get cookies. I'm like, does your mom know where you're at? Does your mom care where you're at? Ron disappeared. He was in like one episode and then you just never saw him again. I'm like,
Yeah. Jessie was too busy being high, too busy trying to get at Rick and his baby. And like I say, I still have my issues with that whole thing. Okay, if you been abused, why were you not talking to Rick at that party and your husband walked up on y'all? She didn't seem nervous. She didn't seem scared. She didn't seem anything to me. So if you were being abused and you know you're going to get it when you get home, why were you constantly going back over there following Rick? I didn't get that. I guess that's where that inconsistent writing plays
Yeah.
come into play? Because it just made no sense.
I know that we were supposed to, as someone who's being abused, we were supposed to feel bad for her and all this kind of stuff. But they had done so much screw up before that, I couldn't. I didn't sympathize with her at that point. I should have been able. I should have cared about what happened to her, but I just don't. They didn't make me care about her because
Yeah.
we didn't know, and they didn't make it clear that that was going on to start with. It's just
Mhm.
always like, oh yeah, she's being abused. Like, oh okay.
Sorry.
I mean, I guess I don't mind that they didn't make it clear that she was being abused because I feel like in those situations, like, no one ever wants to believe that it's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
They try to hide it. So that doesn't bother me so much, but it's just that, like, they made her whole focus was Rick. Not her kids, not, like, her relationships with other people, like, trying to meet other people from the family. It was just all about Rick. And so
Yeah.
that did not care about her. She
Yeah.
didn't care about anybody but him.
But you know what bothered me? When she said, oh, Noah was a good kid. How do you know? When were you having a conversation with Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we never
I
saw
was
that.
like, I was confused by that too.
Unless we're just going to see that all this happened.
Crazy.
When she says, "Would you do this for anyone else?" She wasn't asking for help for her children. She just wanted to know that she was special, and
Yeah.
that bothered her. I think her kids
Well,
should have
that's
been.
gonna come into play when she gets chopped out. When she's asking that, would you do this for anyone else? I think that's gonna come into play when that do happen to her. Because she does say in the comments, you said you would protect me and my kids and this, that. So I think her asking that is gonna come back into play
Yeah.
when that scene happens.
Yeah, it's got to be foreshadowing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when she was cutting his hair and they focused on her owl tattoo on her arm. I'm like, that's where he's gonna cut her.
Yep. I thought the same thing.
It was just really focused there. I'm like, yep.
And they took the time to zoom in the camera on that owl tattoo. So I was like,
Yeah.
yep, they're going to chop that hand off. That arm. Yeah.
You don't see little dash lines on her arm.
So I'm excited. Anything else you guys are excited about this season?
I know, I guess I just want it to get started so we can get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
We've had
I'm
way too
excited
much
for the
time to
possibilities.
think about stuff.
I'm excited.
We're getting there. We're almost done.
Yeah, like 4 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Almost there.
October the 11th.
I just hope they fix the mistakes that they made and they learn their lesson and they do better. But if that's the thing, if they don't realize they did something wrong, then they're not going to change anything.
Well, I think they know. At least I've been trying to tell them on Twitter, so they better know that.
I'm curious what the ratings were, if they went down at all during those last few episodes. Or if they, while they were down in or if they became.
I think they went down a bit, but I don't think it was
Wasn't
like noticeable or anything. And then they went back up for the finale, so I don't know. I think they're so successful that they feel like they can do whatever they want,
Right.
which could be a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing.
Mhm.
I hope they have more Michonne. They give her a story. Whether it's with Rick or not, like, I would love for it to be with Rick, but even if it's not, if they just give her a good story, then I'll be happy.
Mhm.
According
Me
to
too.
she's been filming. I'm sorry. Okay, she's been filming almost every episode.
Yeah, it looks promising,
Yeah.
as long as they don't cut a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I want them to bring back her relationship with Carl back into the focus. I think
I want that too.
I do too.
I think that's like my favorite relationship on the show. Like when I go back and I rewatch episodes like Clear and Claimed, and I did like my top 10 Walking Dead episodes, and Claimed is my favorite because of the relationship between Carl and Michonne. So
Yeah.
I want that. I want more of that.
Hey, ladies, I think I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, it's lunchtime here, and I'm getting a bit
Okay.
hungry. But I wonder what happened to Emmy and Kay.
I know.
Actually, I've been there. I've
Okay.
been.
Oh.
No. I had to put you guys on. No, it was. I had to put you guys on mute because my 4-year-old is being pretty disruptive.
Oh.
I had to,
It's okay.
I had to lay the mommy law on her. But yeah, I've been listening as I was trying to get it all situated, and you know, I overheard what you would like to expect for the season, and I agree with every single one of you. However, I want more. I'm. I guess I just want more of what I remember from like the past season. There were a lot of dialoguing and I guess bonding, especially in the prison, and I don't know. I just want the whole story to be over with. I know it's gonna be very stressful for me.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I would like to see more interaction between lots of different characters. And
Right.
I think, like, the beginning of 5A did a pretty good job of, like, having lots of characters interact with each other. And then they just kind of, like, went off and did separate things, which I didn't like at all. But the trailer seems to be promising that they will have, like, Sasha and Abe and Daryl working together, and Glenn and Michonne working together, and Michonne and Heath, and like all these different people working together. So I think that looks promising as well.
Mhm. I'm
We'll
excited
see.
to see me.
We'll see because these previews can be very misleading.
That is true. That is true.
Got me all excited, and then things that I thought I saw made me kind of look at it twice. That's why I don't know. But what I would like is I could just imagine like if you guys ever notice like I know you're not supposed to be thinking about this because it's a zombie apocalypse, but are you guys like concerned for Rick Feet? It's like he's in like cowboy boots and we see him running, and I don't know. I'm a foot person, so I remember telling someone, if it's a zombie apocalypse, like the three things I would make sure that I have is, make sure the girls are there, and my husband, and like my pedicure kit. Like just because I don't know, I just feel like his foot is probably killing him from all that running. that he has to do. And I think it would just be much more practical if they gave him like practical shoes to wear instead of those cowboy boots.
Yeah, but they're so sexy.
Yes, you know what? Yes, it is. It is. It is. I agree. It is. But I just.
And they make him look so sexy.
Those are his trademarks.
No,
Yes.
it is. Please don't get me wrong. I guess I just feel concerned.
About
I'm
his
sure his feet are
bunions.
nasty, though.
You know, but it's like, it just makes that moment when they become canon, like, oh, they'll just take care of each other, make sure that like we ask him. I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm not making any sense right now. I feel like I'm high. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I am kind of hungry, so I think we should end it here.
Okay.
And it was really nice chatting with you all.
Yes, always. I have a good time. Love
And
these
glad you all
chats.
could make it. And I guess we'll talk about doing another one maybe after like the premiere or something. I'm sure we'll have lots to say then.
Right.
Wait, a premiere chat like after the airing of the episode?
Yeah, maybe something like that. But we can talk about it on Tumblr or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
Right. Bye, ladies.
Good
And
night.
I'll see you on Tumblr.
Bye.
Bye.